So it is currently Monday, which means still have another 3 days until Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out. It's going to be a long week, but reviews did hit this morning, and I looked through them, and for the most part, it looks pretty good. Looks like a lot of people are enjoying it. Now, it's at like an 87 on Metacritic. I was going to go over some of the reviews tomorrow on Newswave, but it does appear that people are enjoying it, but some information has come out, and trust me, I really can't spoil it if I wanted to, because I haven't played the game yet myself outside of that demo that they released that gave us a look at some of the combat and, of course, the visual style. But it does appear that this is going to be a much different Final Fantasy VII than myself and many of you experienced in the 90s, and I've been trying to figure out if that is what I would want from Final Fantasy VII Remake, because it's of course been touted as a remake, right? It's been touted as, this is Final Fantasy VII, this is what's become Square's most memorable Final Fantasy. I'm not saying it's the best one, like overall. If you step back and look at the world of Final Fantasy, most people will say Final Fantasy VI is better and Final Fantasy IX is better. Those are the two that generally come up, right? But there's no denying that Final Fantasy VII is probably the most popular overall. So seeing it getting a remake was, I think, pretty obvious. Most people thought it would happen at some point. But after reading these reviews and talking to people who have played all the way through it, I don't know if I would even call this a remake. Now, Square has mentioned that they will be changing some things here and there, but it sounds like they have done quite a bit of changing in Final Fantasy VII Remake, to the point where it is not really a remake as much as it is a reimagining. Even the ending apparently has a twist, and it is so big that people are on either side of the fence on that one even. So I am really, really excited to get into this game. The weekends, it's going to take forever to get here. I'm going to grab it Thursday night, whether I have to get it digitally or however I make this happen. Yes, I am going to be grabbing this game and probably playing, I would say binging through it in like a few days or maybe just over the next week. It's certainly going to be my big April game, and it'll probably get me to when Trials of Mana drops, and I'll jump over to that one. But to hear that this is a reimagining of Final Fantasy VII and the events that took place in Midgar, which was not that long in the original, but here it's supposed to be 35 to 40 hours. Yeah, you know what? I'm excited about that. I've been wondering if I would be more excited leading up to this if it was a straight up one-to-one remake. And you know what? I don't think I would be. And the reason for that is, if you're like me and you've played through this game, I want to say it's been probably 10 times. I've played through Final Fantasy VII a lot, and I've played through it on several different systems at this point. Even the PSP, for example, I played through it there. I think if it was leading up to a one-to-one remake of the game, I wouldn't be as interested as I am now, because I would know what's going to happen, right? It would just be me going through the motions, seeing the game really look better. That would be really cool, right? To see it with new effects from different angles for telling the story. Yeah, that would be really, really fun to see. But right now, I'm about to go into a Final Fantasy VII game, which is, it's hard to even describe what this is. Even people who have beaten it aren't even sure themselves. But to go into Final Fantasy VII right now, a story that I've seen told several times, and I don't know what's going to happen, but it's still in the same universe, is really exciting. And if you go and watch that trailer, by the way, if you already have, don't spoil it for anyone, but right at the end, my mind was blown with what happened, right? Because I think, yes, okay, I can't say much else, but if you saw the end of that, you may have hit the ceiling like I did, because now I'm like, whoa, What even is this? What is about to happen? But some of the reviews have mentioned at times that there's padding. That's something I was concerned about, with them splitting the game up into chunks and them feeling the need to lengthen parts. I'm not sure yet, though. I need to go through this myself, obviously, before I can give my thoughts on it. But if it doesn't feel terribly padded, and it is a solid 30 hours playthrough that's close enough to the Final Fantasy VII runtime on the PS1, which is roughly 35 hours, I'd be pretty satisfied with just a full game in Midgar, something I figured they glossed over pretty badly during the PS1 game. They went through what should have been a pretty big city that could have had some really interesting stories and subplots, and they just got through that pretty quick, right? So Like, I'm really interested to see what they get out of this and what we learn in this game, and character backstories that are changed or added or moved around, events that are brought up that should have been later on. Yes, the unknown is the most exciting part to me with this, because it's like we're getting a whole nother Final Fantasy VII game in 2020. Now, when we see it concluded, who knows? It could be on the PS6 at this point, for all we know, but I'm excited to get things going here this weekend, and I'll be checking it out, and I'm sure I'll be giving you guys a video on it, and then we'll probably be talking about it, I'm sure, on the Spawncast quite a bit. Exciting stuff, but I am curious. The biggest thing here is, would you, yes you, rather have a 1-to-1 remake, the entire game right now, 1-to-1, you know what's going to happen, better visuals, of course, and it's just a one-time release, Final Fantasy VII Remake, or would you rather have what's I mean, how long is this thing going to be when it's all done? 160 hours? Let's say there's 4 parts at 40 hours each of total playtime that you get out of it, 160 hours. Would you rather have them reimagine everything, change it up, and give you basically a new-ish story? Let me know about that, though, down below. The 1-to-1 or reimagined. I want to know that. Thanks, guys, for watching. Make sure you like the video on the way out if you enjoyed it. Dislike it if not. And I'll see you next time.